In this episode, my climbing journey continues, as I'll be trying out one of the purest forms of climbing, trad climbing. The aim being to get me on the sharp end for the first time on a multi-pitch climb that I've never seen before, all within my first year of climbing. This is trad climbing. It would be truly mental to try this sort of thing without a professional, so I've recruited the world's best. Pete Whitaker from the YouTube channel Wide Boys is one of the most accomplished trad climbers on the planet. It's really hard to highlight just how strong Pete is, but his list of hard climbs says it all. Particularly his first ascent of Crown Royale, graded 9A, possibly one of the hardest trad routes ever climbed. Go check out the Wide Boys channel if you want to see more of Pete's style of crack climbing goodness. But before we go any further, what is trad climbing? Trad is short for traditional climbing. Before people started putting bolts into rocks, the only way up was free soloing or placing some temporary protection on the rock in case you fall. The leader will have to place these pieces of gear, and there's a real skill to doing it so that they hold. However, trad opens up opportunities as to what you can climb. You're not confined to what someone has done before. You can climb whatever you like, really, provided you've got the courage. The first thing Pete thought to show me was how to place gear into the rock. If you're going to fall, you want to know you won't hit the ground, and therefore proper placement of gear is essential.
So we're going to look at gear placing, because that's a crucial part of trad climbing.
Yeah, this is the bit I'm worried about.
Keep yourself safe.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of friends. These are called friends. They're going to be your friend.
Okay.
Have you ever seen them before?
I've seen them for sale in the climbing wall.
Okay.
Never seen anyone use them. Never seen them out in the wild.
Never seen them in the wild.
Pete showed me how to place a camming device into parallel cracks in the wall. The skill is in finding a good place for the cam, using the right size cam, and doing it smoothly enough so that you don't fall off while placing the thing. If the placement is solid, these things can lift a car, but if not, even a little bit of rope drag can walk them out of the wall.
Yeah.
We found one.
It's just interesting to think that this can hold your weight, right? Because it's pretty small, and they get much smaller. They get tiny, these cams, don't they? They get like keychains, right?
They can do, yeah.
Yeah.
With the basics explained, there was no better way to see how it was done than to watch a master. So Pete led a climb and I followed, removing the gear as I went to see what he did. Just a little note here. Watch Pete climb easy grades here. For him, this is a walk in the park. He could probably climb this blindfolded with one hand and one foot. But he still climbs really smoothly with very careful movements, just as he would with a 9A climb. Probably because I'm belaying him. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, feeling good. Feeling good. I mean, it's always easy to say you're feeling good on the top rope, right?
Top rope tough guy.
Top rope tough guy. That's what I am.
The route was a really nice mellow slab with lots of places for gear. As I removed pieces, I tried to note where and how they were placed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that was fine.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's a piece of cake.
Piece of cake.
Yeah.
The next job was to climb the route again and practice placing the gear on the way up.
Did he put a big, huge cam in there? I think he did. Just want everyone to know that I don't condone that.
That's solid.
Pete then had a look at my gear placement to see how I got on.
So that was a bomber. That one's good, but I'd say we can do better. So I think I put a gold in here when I was leading it. I think it was in there. So I put it in left in the wide section and then slid it into the narrower section there. I think that is probably slightly better. That one we can see is like a bit flaring. could be better a little bit further back there. He was a little bit on the edge. Yeah, so this was the place where it was like a little bit more tricky. I mean, it's pretty good, that. Maybe there is a bit slightly, yeah, I think slightly to the right is a better placement. It's just a bit narrower for the cam size. You can see how the cam lobes on the left-hand side are really good, but on the right-hand side they're really open. It's kind of like a recipe for a ripping cam. There's so many other good choices around here that we should use the good choices.
So Pete,
yeah,
you've had a look at Mike's gear placements. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, well, I said before that I was like 65% happy, maybe a bit more. I mean, the good placements were absolutely really good, and it's a route that you could do just on those placements, but I would quite like Mike to place a few more pieces, and those are the pieces that are in between the good ones, so they're a little bit more marginal. Yeah, it just takes a long time to know which flaring slot to put the cam in, which way up to put it, and where are the best spots.
So I practiced placing the gear again. This time, the placement was much better, and Pete seemed much happier.
Yeah, that one, it's very difficult to go wrong with this placement. Yeah, absolute bomber. Like, way better than the first go.
Nice.
Yeah, and even found a bit in the middle, one in the middle which I hadn't found, so there you go. It's a good one.
With all of that out of the way, there was nothing left to do but to lead the climb for real.
Right, Kim, we good? Right, climbing. Clip the right hand rope here.
Yep.
I was pretty calm and collected here. I knew what gear to place where, and all the placements were really solid. However, I was chilled out because I knew I wouldn't fall. The route was very easy, and if I climbed carefully, I'd be fine.
Piece of cake. That was scary. Oh.
However, Pete wasn't going to let me call this challenge done that easily. He told me to book a flight to Norway to find out if I'd really learned anything from him. The final goal would be to climb a multi-pitch trad route, and we'd be on-sighting it too, which means neither Pete nor me would have climbed it before. All we'd have is the guidebook, and I'd be leading the first and last pitch. Here, the nerves definitely kicked in. I had no idea what was ahead of me, so a fall was plausible here. My gear placements would have to be solid, and I'd have to manage gear so I didn't leave too much space between cams, or worse, use them all in the first 15 metres and have to climb to the end of the pitch unprotected. That would be bad. But before we watch me freaking out about that, a quick word from this week's sponsor. The thing I love most about climbing is when you strike the perfect balance of difficulty and fear and you enter the flow state. Suddenly it's just you and the wall and you're completely and utterly focused. It's meditative and it feels incredible. You could get yourself into that state anytime you like by meditating. I've been using this episode's sponsor Headspace to do just that for 4 years now. For me, meditation is just 10 minutes a few times a week before bed, listening to one of the wind down meditations. You can pick from 3 to 10 minutes here. So the trick here is, when your mind starts to wander from the meditation, and it inevitably will, rather than just throwing in the towel and quit, gently pull your focus back to the meditation. That's the trick to it. After a few times of doing this, just a few times a week, you'll be so good at this skill that you'll notice yourself utilising it in everyday life. Like when your cam rips out of the rock, you can learn to use this control to make situations much more relaxed. Headspace also has 90-minute long focus tracks from the likes of Hans Zimmer. They also have bedtime stories and various sounds for sleeping too, as well as yoga videos. I would describe it as the ultimate mindfulness app. You can try Headspace for 60 days for free using the code down in the description or scanning the QR code on screen now. Thanks to Headspace for sponsoring the video. Right, back to it.
I've got nerves.
Nerves now.
Yeah. Suddenly need a poo. But my harness is on, so I'm just gonna have to wait. Do you ever think, like, what am I doing?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
When you're climbing?
No. Okay, predictions. Are we going to get wet? Yes or no?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes. I'm already wet.
Smush it.
The first opportunity to place gear was 3 meters up, and it wasn't exactly a great placement.
Right at the bottom of the slot.
Yeah.
Yep. You go in properly?
Yep.
You reckon,
Good.
Pete? All good?
Yep.
With a really solid second piece, my nerves eased up a little bit and I could carry on with the climb.
Okay. What about a piece in there? Oh, I'm not far off the ground. felt like I've been climbing for hours.
After some cruisy climbing with plenty of gear, I was at the top of the pitch.
Alright Pete, that's me safe. You can take me off Belay.
Good job, mate. What we should do here is admire Mike's impeccable rope management. You see, green rope perfectly on the left, orange rope perfectly on the right. They haven't crossed a single time. It's like a pro.
Pete then led pitch 2, which I was grateful for, as the climbing was much harder.
I've just climbed pitch number 2, and that was actually a little bit more tricky. I think that could be a tricky second for Mike actually. I'm going to be really interested to see what he thinks when he comes up to the top of that one.
That was hard.
Manage all the climbing?
Yes, I did, yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
That's a really good effort.
Yeah, I thought I was climbing well there.
Yeah.
Big layback and a jam and
Yeah.
a roof, and it was a mess, and it was great. It was brilliant. I loved it.
Yeah, good. Full on proper multi-pitch style. We're swinging leads.
Yep.
You're taking next lead.
Yep. Sharing the load.
Sharing the load.
So you don't get too tired.
Exactly. And you're going to blast to the top. It's going to be epic.
Right, climbing.
Back on the lead for the final pitch, my confidence was high. Until this happened.
I just ripped straight out.
Mike is on pitch number 3 and he has just tested a piece of gear and ripped it out. It's always a little bit unnerving when you put a piece in, you think it's good, and then you obviously tug on it and then it just rips straight out, which I think is what he may have just done.
I really wasn't keen on going into the unknown with that crappy gear placement.
This is not going well. Okay, come on. Let's stay calm here.
Luckily, I managed to maintain composure enough to find something better.
That's better.
After that fiasco, the climb became super easy. With gorgeous views and the summit in sight, I could chill a little bit.
That's a good camp. It's not coming undone anymore.
This is how to learn to trad climb, with a professional looking over your shoulder. There's just so much more that can go wrong here than with sport climbing, but with someone who's experienced on the job, you can safely get a taste of what trad is all about. The adventure.
We're alive! Good job. Nice one!
The only thing that remains is, how do we get back down?